We got to about this point here, near the cedar, and some creature tore off through the bush, separating all these, and we were watching it go. We couldn't see it. My name is Blaine Tyler. I'm a Sasquatch researcher in northeastern Ontario, and I put out research videos on my channel called Finding Sasquatch on YouTube. My childhood was, a typical kid of the 70s, free-range parenting. You leave the door in the morning with your hockey sticks or your baseball glove, or on your bike if you're going for a ride, trail, playing hockey or sports all day when you're not in school. It's your typical lazy Sunday afternoon kind of lifestyle as a kid. Some of my favorite movies growing up were the King Kong series movies. I like the Godzilla movies, the crypto movies like Legend of Boggy Creek, or anything on Sasquatch. Mysterious Monsters was a big hook when I was a young lad. Childhood encounters. Had one when I was a 10, 11-year-old, and then when I was in the 20s. Me and my brothers and a friend were staying at a hunting cabin. They would sleep in, they were older, do a little partying at night, but I was grade 6, so I'd just go for hikes. And one day I followed a game trail up over a hill, down the hill a little bit, and before I got to the bottom, I noticed there was these gorilla shapes in the thickets. And that's the first thing that hits you, is you think, well, what are these things, like really big gorillas? And then after my curiosity faded and fear kind of set in, because they're all just watching me, and I just kind of turned around and walked back to the hunting camp. And then they came to the hunting camp at night, and I could hear them outside the walls, shuffling around. That was my first encounter. I got interested mainly because, first of all, mainstream media wouldn't take it serious, and then they're projecting that joke kind of atmosphere onto the general public audience. And so it was kind of a challenge, like, oh, wait a minute, they shouldn't be making fun of it. The other end of it was that I seemed to be a natural at it. I already knew where they were. It's just a matter of catching them off guard with the video camera or with the audio recorder, and tracking them down, maybe finding a series of prints and bringing back evidence for the scientific community that is interested in it to examine. Pretty interesting spot. I was hiking in here with my wife. We got to about this point here, near the cedar, and some creature tore off through the bush, separating all these, and we were watching it go. We couldn't see it, but we could see all the branches being separated as it took off. And it was tall because you could see at the branch where the point of the bend was of the hand or whatever that was knocking it over. And I found a trackway in here that came up from the river. 2 sets of prints, early winter, ice and snow and mud, cold mud, all the way up and into the tunnel there of cedars. Some of these photos, that's actually, there's a couple Sasquatch here. That's zoomed in, so obviously the pixels got fried a little bit. This one here had legs on it like that, like a bodybuilder's legs. The one that's circled in red is a sentry that I caught watching me as I was approaching, getting closer to the shelter off a trail. This one here, it's got a bit of a snout on it. We call those the gugwi, or some people call them dogmen. I cast these casts here, the prints here, were in an abandoned sand quarry, and I stumbled across it from following other signs. Well, my goal, I guess the ultimate goal is, I'm not into shooting them, but maybe if I were to find one clipped by a train or something, maybe bring back an arm or a hand that's been run over and cut off or something like that. Second to that would be to get footage like the famous '67 Roger Patterson footage, but for Canada, get some footage of one running across a field or something, but at close range in high def, and then that would really help our researchers present real hardcore evidence and not just talk about what a whole bunch of witnesses have seen. Well, for professional goals, if I ever won the lottery, I might have a Bigfoot bed and breakfast and buy all the land around a lake or something, or half of it or whatever, all the land around a big pond or lake, and do like a tours and thing. You guys all got life insurance, right?